Aaron Rodgers held court, Rob. Seems like he may be on the verge of the first back-to-back MVP since, Peyton Manning? And was it 08 and 09?
Yeah, it's been a long time in the NFL, so that's pretty amazing. And he does look like it, Chris, with the performance he had this past week. Brady didn't do that much, even though they beat the Panthers.
Right.
So it looks pretty much like he's with 2 games to go.
Yeah, pretty good games.
If he just plays like he normally plays and doesn't have something blow up in his face.
He'll probably win it. Yeah. But he held court, talked about a number of things. His future, will he be with the Packers next year? Will he be elsewhere next year? Or will he even be playing football next year? He didn't rule out retirement. Here's an excerpt.
Yeah, well, thanks for letting me clarify that. I wouldn't rule that out. I think that I'm just enjoying this season for this season. And I think there's playing next year will definitely be in the thought process. One of the things that obviously, and you and I have talked about this over the years, wanting to not be a bum, per se, on the way out and to still be able to play, I think is important to me. If this year has taught me anything, is that, I still can play. I still have a love for the game. I'm still super competitive and still enjoy the process of the week. I miss practice, and it's tough to not be out there week after week now. But I still do love competing, and I love being out there. There'll be a lot of things that'll weigh in the off season. Saying that doesn't mean, or any of the comments I've made doesn't mean I'm thinking about elsewhere. I do want to clarify that. The things that I've said about the team this year, about Brian's and I's relationship, has been heartfelt and genuine, and I do appreciate a lot of the things that I've seen from the team that are directly related to conversations we had in the off season. That was meaningful to me. I've enjoyed being a part of conversations that directly affect my job, which I talked about in the off season, and Brian's taken a lead in that. And I do appreciate the way our relationship has grown. I have a lot of love for Matt and enjoy playing for him. I love my teammates. The coaching staff has been fantastic, and they make it fun every single day. And the guys, obviously, is what you play for. And having Randall back has made this year exponentially greater for me as far as happiness and going through the weeks and being able to spend time with him and Ida and the kids. And it has been really, really special. So I'm just savoring this year, I think, as much as anything. And I don't want to, it won't be something where I'll drag it out for months and months, have conversations with my loved ones after the season, with Brian and Mark and Russ and coaching staff, and then make a decision at some point. I'm not going to hold the team back from anything. And once I commit, and if it's committing, to move forward here, it'll be a quick decision.
All right, Rob, everybody's trying to decipher what he said. To me, it's simple. He's leaning heavily toward coming back to the Packers. And I think, Rob, what will determine it is, like he said, I don't know if that was a long clip. I don't know if he said it in that clip, but he said it today, that he's going to sit down with the front office, including Brian Gutekunst, the GM, who he obviously spoke favorably about in that clip, and Matt LaFleur after the season and make a determination. So to me, when he sits down with them, Rob, and I think he's going to want to get clarity. Am I your guy going forward or not? Like, are you ready to try to work Jordan Love in or not? If they're all in on, like, look, it's you. However long you want to be our starter, it's you. All right, next 3 years, whatever, it's you. If they're that much in, and then they give the money to Devontae Adams, right, his great receiver, if they do those two things, Rob, I think he's going back to Green Bay. And I think the one caveat is this. If they don't win the Super Bowl, okay, does Aaron Rodgers think, what is it? I mean, 3 straight terrific regular seasons, and we just haven't been able to get it done. And it may just be if they don't get to the Super Bowl. Right? If they don't win the NFC, maybe if they get to the Super Bowl and lose, he won't feel this way. But if they don't win the NFC, is there a part of him that's like, it's something here? I don't know, but we just can't get over the hump. And then does he look at Denver? Does he look at Pittsburgh? Does he look at New Orleans? But overall, Rob, what I take from what he said is he pretty much wants to come back and will be back, or is leaning heavily toward returning to the Packers next year.
See, I partially agree with you, but I believe that I'm either playing for the Packers or I'm retiring as a Packer. Like it's one of the other. When he hangs
so
it
that
up,
he will retire after this season.
No.
Well, but
he didn't have to retire. He could stay. But I don't see him going to another team. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, but what if the Packers? So then you see him definitely playing for the Packers next year.
Yeah. But I'm saying, but it's not just that. Is that I don't think he's going anywhere. That when this time is done in Green Bay, I don't think he's going anywhere. I really don't. I think he'll retire as a Packer. And I think Colin Cowherd said this, and I think it's smart. He said all they need to do is just say to him, "We're trading Jordan Love, and you're going to be here as long as you can play." Obviously, if he wins another one, that'll be aged. How old is he now? 37? Going to be 38, 37?
38, something like that.
37, 30. He's won two MVPs, or possibly 37, 38. We're seeing Tom Brady play till 44. He could play at least another 2 years, Chris, right? And play till 40.
Oh, at least.
So you have, at least 2 years, maybe 3. Right. You give Devontae Adams the contract. And you say, the next 3 years, look at what we've done. We've won 13 or more games every year. We got a team here. We run the ball. We got defensive players. And you're right. And so, some of their best defensive players, Chris, are out and haven't even played.
They should be getting them back.
Right? And they'll be getting them back come playoff time. And Bakhtiari, the lineman, all-pro, he's been out all year. They're going to get him back. Like it's built up to just say, you know what? We took Jordan Love. He's not going to get in for 3 years. It doesn't make sense for us to hold on to him if Aaron Rodgers is here. So I'm just saying he looks like he sounds like he's happy. Like the team is where it is. He's happy with and that Randall Cobb, he brought it up. I was funny. I was looking up Randall Cobb on my phone, just looking at some stuff. That was big when he asked for Randall Cobb and they gave him to him.
You must be the only dude in the country that Googles Randall Cobb.
No, I wanted to look at his numbers. I was looking at his numbers.
I'm just messing with you. Hold on. Here's what I want to throw at you, though. Because essentially you said what I said. But you threw in that he retires as a Packer. So what if they don't trade Jordan Love?
Yeah, but
what if they're like, well, Aaron, look, like let's say they don't win the Super Bowl. And they're like, we want you for next year. But they're not as committed maybe as he wants them to be. Do you see him retiring?
Okay, yeah. My take is he will not play for any other team. That's my take.
So he could retire after this year?
He could retire after this year. Say they win the Super Bowl and they say, well, moving forward, which would be ridiculous, but they won the Super Bowl and he went out on top. Because I've heard and read stories where his people or people around him say, is very important. Like the whole Green Bay Packers, only being a Packers quarterback is something special to him. And that's really what I got. At the heat of the moment, you remember Kobe Bryant wanted out of L.A. too and made a big stink and went on every radio show in the country and talked down to the organization and how much he wanted out. And he wound up playing all 20 years in L.A. And he never went anywhere. And I think Aaron Rodgers could wind up in the very same situation. He had a one bad offseason where he was unhappy with some stuff. He came back this year. They're playing great, and he has everything he could want.
I just don't see him retiring. And look, he left it open, so it's certainly possible. You are right, Rob, in that he said, look, I want to clarify. I'm not thinking about playing for anybody else. So he did say that.
I believe that, Chris, and I believe that.
It doesn't mean he won't, but it means right now he's not thinking about it. But I think the Packers could push him. Like if they, for whatever reason, you're right, why in the world would they? But if they, for whatever reason, don't seem as committed to him as he wants, I just don't think he'd hang it up. I mean, if he comes off another MVP, he said, I don't want to be a bum. Like that's why he said he would retire.
And
he doesn't want to be a bum.
I get that.
He ain't going to be a bum next year.
No.
Right?
I get that. But I really believe that the whole Green Bay that's just me, Chris. I could be totally wrong. And I'm making a point about the Kobe. I think that's a fair comparison. Yeah, you remember that.
But Kobe could have easily been gone. I mean,
no, I know, but I'm just saying he wanted out.
Kobe. Yeah,
he wanted out in the worst way, and it didn't happen. But he wound up staying.
I just don't think it's as big a deal anymore you only play for one team. It's nice, it's fine. But how many, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana,
I get it.
Greats, yeah.
Maybe he just doesn't want to be that. He doesn't want to be
Yeah, but I do think he wants to play there. I'm with you on that. But I think his talk on the retirement, Rob, was more, and he's talked about being in a better mental space, right? Over the summer, he got himself there. I think part of that is, and you hear a lot of athletes talk about this, is staying in the moment, right? Not getting caught up in the past, not getting caught up in the future, what's going to happen, but staying in the moment. And I think that's why he's like, I'm not even talking about that, the retirement or anything like that. So we'll see, but we're pretty much on the same page.